Aloha, everyone. This is Dewi Maile Lim here. Happy International Women's Day. Let's do a Women's Day dance. Women's Day is every day, as we know. I always say that on Earth Day, too. Earth Day is every day, and Women's Day is every day, of course. I'm so pleased to just be in the space. With you all. Feel free to just be at ease here. This is a beautiful co-creative experience that is literally unfolding moment by moment. For those of you who haven't yet heard the story of how this all got birthed, it's been 3 weeks since this idea kind of came into form for me. And I had just started updating my profile on LinkedIn, and I was feeling into the space there and thinking, oh, this would be a really cool place to focus my efforts for my business and just connection. Of course, LinkedIn is the place for that. And previously, I'd really been focusing mainly on Facebook to share my stuff, and kind of felt disillusioned with that space. And then I was on a LinkedIn speaker series training, and I thought, hey, why not gather the women who feel inspired about this topic of embodied feminine leadership. And then the name Quickening came to me, and by that time it was already kind of a quickening happening. So we have over 50 women speakers alone who have raised their hand to be a part of this. I'm probably not going to be able to fit all of them in for season 1. However, this probably will be continuing. So season 1 leads up to April 26th. So, if you're able to pop on any Wednesday morning, time changing is shifting for everybody but Hawaii and Arizona. I don't know where else on the planet shifts, but so we're still going to be meeting at 8 a.m. Hawaii time going forward. So if you have a time change coming up, your time may go an hour later. Just note to self on that. So starting next week, I know in the North American region, time is changing. So just make a note of that. We'll probably be meeting an hour later if you're anywhere in North America. And I just love my passion is connecting with women, visionary, luminary women all over the world. When I was little, I had pen pals, so I wrote letters, and then the internet came and social media, and it was like, all right, I'm shifting to this medium. And I've always just been passionate about connection and leadership too, since I was a little girl. My business is called New Earth Luminary, and the mission of this company and the offerings that I provide is really tools, resources, connection, and support and sisterhood for women who identify as trailblazing, new earth, visionary leaders in whatever capacity. A lot of the people that I've played with over the years have been coaches, healers, experts, thought leaders, and I'm expanding my audience now to anyone who identifies as an embodied feminine leader. So if you know anyone in whatever industry that may resonate with what we're doing here, please spread the word. I'm not doing any ads or anything. This is purely on the power of the viral, organic, each one teach one, spread the word kind of a culture here. So thank you to Tessa for introducing me to Kimberly. It's also been amazing to reconnect with people like Elvira and Deborah. I haven't seen you in years. Lisa, I met in a training program that I was in, and Tessa, we met in another course before. So it's just been really cool to reconnect with all of these beautiful women in my life that I never really had a hub for us. So this is our hub. This is our place where we can continue to share our wisdom. And with that, I'm going to pin our 3 presenters today so that you can meet them all. So the way that this works is each presenter will be, so here we have Elvira, given the floor for 10 minutes. And basically anything she would like to share about embodied feminine leadership is free reign. So this is really, as a speaker, an opportunity to see, you know, what you want to share, what your transmission is for us here. And so you have free reign. You can also share a way for all of us to continue to be a part of your list and your community, and connect with you on any of the channels that you prefer. So with that, I'm going to introduce each of these beautiful women here in the order in which they're going to present. And then if I missed anything in your intro, please feel free to beef it up, so to speak. I'm just going to kind of do an informal introduction of all of us here. Okay, got somebody else in the waiting room. Okay, so when I say your name, will you just kind of wave so we know who you are? So first, I would love to introduce you to Miss Tessa ALBURN. And Tessa guides women to suss out and debug the insidious strands of the matrix so that their feminine power is restored and reactivated, leaving fear in the wake of their brilliance. She is a stand for women making a difference in global consciousness so that paradigms of oppression and dominance are things of the past. And a new world of connection is midwifed in, one where sovereign, loving being prevails. Well, I'm just all about that. Thank you for being here and thank you for your mission.
Thank you.
Yay, Tessa. So happy you're here. And then we have Elvira. Hi. Elvira is a visionary coach and performing artist who sees that many people are seeking happiness and enlightenment today, but don't know how to find it or where to look. The good news is that all our happiness lies inside each of us. Elvira believes that it's never too late to wake up to whatever dreams lie in you, as they never fully go away and can be activated even later in life. Welcome, Elvira. And then Lisa is an interdisciplinary artist. She holds art as prayer and an offering for you to remember, heal, and transform yourself through creative embodiment. She invites you to express your whole self as a creatively empowered being, belonging to the interconnected web of life in beauty and flow, in your unique nature, as nature herself, as we co-create the most beautiful world our hearts know is possible. So much juiciness. Thank you for all being here. I just love each of you so much, and I feel honored to share the stage with you and have you here today. It's just such a delight. So I'm going to now bring Miss Tessa on to present first. And then as Tessa shares, Tessa, will you be kind of mindful of your 10 minutes? And I'll give you a 1 minute, each of you a 1 minute, like to start to wrap it up. So if you haven't made your invitation yet, you can do that at that point. And
yes.
Sound good?
Sounds good. I'm going to do my best, but you can always just like wave at me.
Okay.
And I'll zip it. Okay.
Okay, so 1 second. Let me just remove the pins. So it's all you. You have the floor, dear one.
Oh, goodness. Somehow I just got 2 timers going all at once. So let me just pause that. That's a new thing. And well, I don't know what's going to happen. They're both going 10 seconds apart from one another. It's great to be here. I am so happy, Dewi, that you reached out to me and that we've reconnected. I think there's so much richness and opportunity that can be available to us as women when we're open to and inspired, you know, like using that inspiration and moving on it. And Dewi is a master at that. And I think for myself, there have been many times in my journey where I have held back because I was like, oh, I don't know if I could take this on, or, you know, I had all kinds of concerns, mostly stemming from lack of confidence and having a nature of being a introvert. Um, but this has been a year of the last couple years, or years of stretching what I'm capable of, right? And really leaning into edges. And so even Dewi, as you were speaking my introduction today, I was like, oh my word, where did that come from? Like that was just channeled because up until recently, I have really shied away from sort of having that edgy push and bringing kind of a challenge to people. I'm more known as like, compassionate, loving, and some of you who know me, like, come into the mother womb of Tessa, like she will love you no matter what, and all of that. But I'm finding that we're really at a time where we cannot mess around much anymore. Like, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about. Two of the areas that I see are impacting our inability to actually be in leadership and actually be causing more change are these shadow areas. And one of them, and they both center around collaboration. So women think they're great collaborators, but in my experience, they're actually not that great. And from my own life, and as I hung out my own shingle, I went from like barely being able to, get appointments to do healings and this, that, and the other. I was doing really deep, profound work with people, but I had no idea how to promote myself or to even talk about what I did. And then when I finally started getting a foothold in that, the people that had been encouraging me up until that point, they were like, that's great, you go for it. But then something happened. Like I wound up consulting with a company, and that was a big part of my business. And what was happening in the relationships that I had had with a lot of other coaches and entrepreneurial women was suddenly they're calling me to ask me basically for a job. They weren't calling me to say, how can we create an opportunity here? This is amazing. Like, what could you and I do together? They were actually wanting a hand to the people I was consulting for. And that did not feel good, I gotta say. And I was mystified by this. And so pretty soon I wound up having to just like kind of put up boundaries around that and not even discuss what I was doing because they wanted to know all about that business. It was just like people weren't finding out what was happening with me and what we could create together. They just wanted in. And it was really off-putting. So I think this is something that women do with one another. And it's clearly unconscious, but I think we want to really look at that. Like, how am I using my sisters, and where am I missing opportunity for actual collaboration, right? And celebration of what they're achieving. And to really look at what are the competitive things in me or the needs in me where I'm not feeling good enough that I've got to have that. Because here's the other thing, we don't do this with men. We don't. We do something different with them, but we don't compete with them. And so I'm asking you today to set aside your competition with women and look deeper. Like, what is that about? Is that the mother wound? Is that not getting the appreciation, the love, the importance? And I'm seeing more and more as my business has evolved into working with entrepreneurial women that a lot of the messaging, we're all told we have this thing, we're not good enough. Well, that can be very nuanced. And I think for women, we really get a lot more. You don't matter. I don't matter. So some of those underlying core beliefs, right? You don't deserve to exist. You're not important. What you say, your voice does not matter. And so that's why we're seeing so many women who are like, I want to find my true self and find my voice that, you know, and speak my truth. It's because it's been oppressed and it hasn't been healed. So I invite you to heal that in yourself and get whatever support you need around that. So let me just check my time and just I'll wait. I'm gonna ask you a question a little bit. The other area of the shadow that I see is an overall downplaying of our sisters, and instead allowing the enchantment of men to distract us and to take our power. And I love men. Right? I love flirting with men. I love receiving from men. Like they're awesome. But we are giving it away when we follow them on social media, and when we hook on to one of them, like we think is going to teach us something or make us seem special, or somehow, you know, give us that magic wand, or like, you know, I sort of think of Knights of the Round Table. Like, we're not going to be part of that. Number one, they don't operate that way. And men are really great at using their charisma, their charm, right? Those flirty eyes and those big smiles. And they give us the other side of the shadow, which is the missing daddy stuff. And so we seek out approval from them. And we're trying to prove ourselves and to be recognized by them in a way that says, yeah, you should be respected. You're amazing. But as long as we're following them on social media and avoiding our sisters, as long as we're like just, you know, constantly on their email list, what are they up to? What are they up to? What are they up to? Oh, I want to be part of that event. And we can turn it into all kinds of stories. Like, I'm going to go to their 3-day event because I'll meet clients, you know. Well, that is probably an illusion. So I want you to also look deeper than that and really ask, why am I following these people? And instead come back to your own power. What is it I know I have to offer? What can I start building on? And if, you know, because if it's just something small, take that, that's good enough. And build on it and create real relationships and talk business with your sisters. Don't drag your feet and push them off or just wait for something to land in your lap from them. Reach out. Actually use the skills and the language that you have inherently in your nature, and that nature to care. Don't just caretake, sisters. Care for yourself. Build something together. Utilize what those men have been doing so well for millennia. Build stuff and know when to stop. And focus. Bring the heart forward and the souls forward that are wanting change. All right, I'm just going to invite you to post something in the chat right now. Put something in the chat that you're taking away from this today. And I know my time is at a close here. Yes, beautiful. Thank you, ladies. Awesome. I really appreciate your attentiveness. And if I can get this thing to turn off, I will. Okay, stop. There we go. I invite you to connect with me if you want to collaborate. There's a collaboration link in there. If you have an idea, a project you want somebody to work with, to teach for your people, to show up, to support you in some way, let's have that conversation. If you are in the place where you're looking for support yourself in your business, there's a different link. And if you'd like to just avail yourself of some free video gifts, you can choose to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I feel my soul was recognized in your talk, and I'm here rooting for you and all of those you touch. I feel like there may be more for us to explore. So I'm just so grateful for you, for what you're stepping into and claiming, and being unabashedly, unapologetically a stand for.
Thank you so much, Dewi. And thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Tessa. Aloha, darling. Hang out still if you can, because we may have some questions for you later. Yay! This is what it's all about. Who's feeling juicy and empowered right now? Yeah. Okay, let me bring on Miss Elvira now. Hi, Elvira.
Hello. Hello, hello.
Okay, I'm going to remove myself from the screen, so it is all yours now.
Thank you. Thank you, Dewi. So I love what Tessa shared, and I have to admit, I got a bit activated because that was the truth for me for the longest time. And I'm blessed to say that I've done a lot of healing of my mother wound, I call it the mean girl wound, the woman that wants to take you down because she's intimidated by you. I've done a lot of work on that. And I'm blessed to say that I'm on the other side of it now. And of course, there's going to be work till I die. But I'm blessed to say that I've found a way where I can collaborate with amazing women and some men too, some men that are conscious. And we're creating some amazing stuff right now. So it's such an interesting, juxtaposition, what you just talked about and where I am right now. And I just want to honor you and your journey, Tessa. So I'm just going to sit with this for 1 sec. So who am I? I am someone that was 11 years old and went to go see an incredible cabaret jazz show where my daddy worked. And it was not for kids, but somehow I ended up being in the audience. I was this fat little Italian girl. So Patrizia, she's my sister, born in Italy as well. I came from Italy to Canada when I was 5. I was a skinny little kid, but my parents weren't happy. And me being the artistic empath, I ate my emotions because they weren't happy. So I became this rotund little child. And I'm sitting in the audience and I'm watching this jazz show, and God knows why I was there. Either my dad was babysitting me that night because he worked downstairs and stuck me up there for the night, or I insisted on going because I love singing and dancing since I leapt out of the womb. So anyways, I'm there, 11 years old, and I'm seeing these goddesses on stage singing and dancing and acting, and they're beautiful and they're talented. And I was this, little, well, not that little, I was kind of a big little one, and I just fell in love. And afterwards, the show was over. My dad comes to get me, and he saw the stars in my eyes, and he said, "Would you like to meet them backstage?" Because he knew them. He worked downstairs. And I said, "I can meet them?" So I went backstage, and I was feeling so inadequate around these goddesses. And they looked down at me and they said, "Joe, this is your daughter? She's so beautiful." And I'm thinking, I'm beautiful? I'm a fat little Italian kid. You're beautiful for telling me I'm beautiful. And ladies, I felt seen for the first time in my life. I knew that these women were me just a few years ahead. And I put it out there and I said, that's what I'm going to be. So I walked away with my father. And my father, who could sing like Pavarotti, but never did anything with his voice, because he was told the narrative from his parents that good men are not on stages singing and performing. Good men are good husbands and fathers and providers. Okay, that was the thinking that was given to him. My aunt, his sister, was an incredible opera singer, but when she got married, she was told to hang up an opera gown, put on an apron, and she could never step foot on another stage. The patriarchy, right? So my father was the heart-centered people pleaser who did what his parents wanted him to do. My aunt listened to her parents as well. Well, guess what? They both died with their real music still in them. They did not get aligned with their higher self, their higher purpose, their higher power. They did not get authentic. They just put on masks to look good to the world, to please their parents, to be accepted, to be loved. And they did not get fully self-expressed. Okay, so this is, I believe, a world full of people who are aligned, authentic, and fully self-expressed could be heaven on earth. And that is the world that I'm helping to create. Because you see, I walked away with my father and I looked at him and I said, Daddy, I want to be one of them when I grow up. Well, ladies, just take one guess what my dad said to me that day. Put it in the comments if you like. Anybody? Any guesses? Okay. Here's what he said to me. Elvira, not safe. Thank you. Thank you, Kimberly. Yes, my dad wanted me to stay safe because he played it safe, right? So sins of the father visited onto the child, right? So I walk away with my dad. I said, Daddy, I want to be one of them when I grow up. Yes, that's right. He played it safe. Exactly. He said to me, Elvira, you can't be one of those women because those women are sluts. And that was it. I was not allowed to be me anymore. Little 11-year-old Elvira asked herself, okay, Daddy, I'm not allowed to be who I want to be. Who do you need me to be so you will love me? And that's when the people pleasing started. That's when the imposterhood started. That's when living out of alignment started. That's when I chose not one, but 2 solid healthcare careers so that I could be accepted by him, so that I could be accepted by society, because those were well-paying jobs. One was in cancer research as a lab technologist. The other was a big pharma rep. So I became this very, very, I'm going to say, it wasn't a doctor, but I did wear a lab coat and worked in a hospital. They thought I was a doctor. But anyway, the point is that I could only keep up that charade for so long. My last 2 years of corporate were a total fucking shit show. I struggled with, although I was an award-winning pharmaceutical rep making 6 figures, I was now being bullied at work. I attracted another bully socially. The cost of living out of alignment is you get bullied, is you go to dark places. So I struggled with depression, anxiety, panic disorder, bipolar, suicidal ideation. My marriage was a hell on wheels. And I lived like that for 2 solid years. Well, at my final moment of as Elizabeth Gilbert would call it, an eat, pray, love, my bathroom floor moment was, I cannot do this anymore. I said to my higher power, give me a way out of this hell. That's not drugs, because my father had to go on drugs when he too lived out of alignment and got bullied at work. Interesting, father, sins of the father visited onto the child. My father couldn't get out any other way. He did not know what to do. So the psychiatrist put him on lorazepam for the rest of his life. I saw what they did to my dad. I didn't want to go the same route. I was also a drug rep, so I knew a lot about drugs. I didn't want to be dependent on them. And why not therapy? I asked for a way out that was not drugs, not therapy. Why not therapy? Well, when I was a new mommy, I had to go through 2 years of therapy to get over my mommy issues. Therapy works. My mom is one of my best friends today, but it took a hell of a long time. So at rock bottom, I wanted it fast. I wanted it natural. Well, guess what, ladies? I'm still here. I got it. And that way not only saved my life, my marriage, my sanity, it helped me to go from an inauthentic crap magnet to an aligned, authentic, fully self-expressed miracle magnet. Today, I became I'm 60 now. At 51, I became a professional jazz singer. I'm now on stages like I saw when I was 11 years old. And I'm here to say that saved my life, is being fully self-expressed with everything that I was inside, allowed my marriage to flourish, allowed my mental health to never go back to that dark place ever again. Can you believe I was able to undo bipolar? Like, how insane is that, right? So this is what we can do. And this is what I teach. And I have a system that was shown. It's not just for you, Elvira, it's for you to share with the world. And I'm like, how the fuck do I do that? Well, when COVID hit, 2 amazing women came forward who loved my online course. They said, Elvira, they lost their work because they were both in the service industry, hairdresser and massage therapist. They said, Elvira, we love your course. We love your teachings and tools that I didn't make up. I just channeled them, right? So I'm not that smart. But they said, we love your teachings and tools, and we want to share these with the world. And we're going to create a 6-month program so that people can embody these teachings and tools and have them transform from crap magnets to miracle magnets. Well, at that point, I started to cry because I realized this is how it gets shared with the world, not through me, through them. And now we have an incredible system. It's called the Love Your Vibe Transformation. Virtually every graduate of it wants to be a facilitator of it. And my team is growing quickly because not only do they get to share my teachings and tools using my platform, my e-commerce, my branding, my marketing. That's why I had to live out of alignment for 20 years as a drug rep, because I became a pretty kick-ass entrepreneur that I get to be today to serve them, because most of them are light workers. They're people that are healers, artists. They don't want to do the business, right? They just want to plug and play into my system. And they can also share their own story, message, and magic on my platform. Because I don't believe it's just one of our story, message, and magic that matters. It's all of our stories, messages, and magic that matter. So that's what we're doing today. And I'm blessed to say that this is my vision for the world, a world where we're all living aligned, authentic, fully self-expressed, because I believe it could be heaven on earth. And I'm helping to achieve that world on 3 levels. I've got the Love Your Vibe transformation with my incredible team that I've locked arms with, and we're collaborating. They're making money using my system. I'm making money using my system. The middle level is my one-on-one coaching. I have some beautiful programs. I'm also a jazz singer turned sacred sound healer. There's my little sacred sound healing setup in the back. And that's why I was meant to be a jazz singer, is not just to be on stage. Look at me, I'm all that in a bag of chips. I'm here to help people heal with my voice, because that's what I've been doing for many years. And I also use the bowls, and it's just beautiful. Anyway, that's what I do as well. I'm also an international speaker, a miracle that found me when COVID hit. I always knew I would be an international speaker, didn't know how. Well, now I'm represented by one of the oldest speakers bureaus on the planet. Miracle, total freaking miracle. And I'm also a jewelry designer. So these actually aren't my designs. These are Stella and Dot, but I also make jewelry. I put it in my sacred sound bowls. I bless it with sound, and people feel amazing when they wear my designs, because I believe it's the energy that goes into it. So these are the things that I'm blessed to do. And I don't work a day in my life, because everything is in total alignment with who I truly am. And I want all of us to live like this. I want all of us to be miracle magnets. And so that's the second layer. And I think my time's coming up. So I'm just going to talk about the top layer. The top layer is a very cool thing that came through 10 years ago on the morning of a dear friend's funeral. It was a vision that was gifted to me. And I believe it was the woman that passed on who loved me dearly. And she knew I was feeling lost in my life at that time. And she showed me that my husband and I, who nearly split 3 different times because of my ego, by the way, what does he do for a living? He builds and runs hotels. So hospitality is his background. Well, we were brought together and meant to stay together because we are now co-creating a series of 11 global retreat centers around the planet, global, that are serving the 1% to help them do their inner work of healing and growth. And by helping them, we get to help humanity, because they get conscious. They no longer live as their egos. They live as their authentic self. We lock arms with them, my team and I have over 40 people around the world who want to serve the 1%. That's another team I have. And we are doing it. We are co-creating heaven on earth by helping the 1%. So my final thing is, if you resonate with any of these pieces, please let me know. Do reach out. I think Dewi is gonna, she's put my link tree up there. And I wanna say that I can chat with you for 50 minutes. We can talk about what you do. If there's anything that resonates, let's lock arms. Let's collaborate. This is the world I wanna live in. And I hope you do as well. I know Tessa does. And I believe it's possible. So I just wanna say thank you, Dewi, for allowing me this beautiful platform to talk to these gorgeous, beautiful sisters on International Women's Day. And I'm out. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, dear Elvira. Love your vibe, girl. Hashtag love your vibe. So cool. Wow, I'm very interested in this global retreat initiative that you are speaking to. So I definitely want to learn more. So we shall connect. And Elvira has another speaking opportunity for International Women's Day today too. So we got her on the front end. Thank you, sister. All right, I'm going to bring Miss Lisa on. Where is she? Here she is. How are you all enjoying this so far? I would love to just get some beautiful feedback in the comments. As inspired. Yeah. Hi, Lisa. You're on mute still.
Hello.
Yay. Okay. Well, the floor is now yours. I'm going to exit the stage.
Well, thank you all so much. And I was very curious about what would come through today and sharing. That's part of my work as being a visionary artist, is of listening and receiving and being in the flow of the channel. And, you might call that improvisation or spontaneity. And of course, like always in my life, when I'm aligned to, what I consider my divine feminine essence, which is the receptivity and being present to what wants to come through, of course, like the themes that are weaving through what has been shared. So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tessa and Elvira. I'm just receiving this weaving of sisterhood and the healing that happens when we come into alignment, and the power of finding our true voice and being in the world as that. And that's what my work has been, so much around finding my voice. And I have many ways that I have explored that. And currently it's through art, and specifically intuitive art, and the process of finding my voice, finding my own listening to intuition through the artistic creative process. And for me, this is one of it's actually like revolutionary. It's being a sacred rebel, because the outside world is really, really, really loud. It maybe always has been, but it's even louder. There are more distractions. There are more shoulds. There are more, trainings, coaching, many with good intentions, but so many of them are running in the model, unconsciously, in the model of extractive capitalism and colonization, and of the spirit, of the mind, of the voice. And when we can get still in whatever way is possible for us to find a listening, to open our channel, to access our intuition, that is a place of empowerment, and that is a place of creativity. That's a place of rebirth. That's a place of regenerative energy. And when we're looking outside for confirmation or direction or inspiration, even. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not inspired by others. That's different. But we have an opportunity now to shift into what I consider this like ancient future, which is the present, which is right now, which is remembering counsel, remembering actual circles of collaboration, like what was shared earlier, which is different than maybe the extractive networking. This is how can I serve? How can I show up? How can I show up with my gifts and my listening? What can I bring to the conversation? What can I bring to the healing? What can I bring to the collaboration? And so when we remember our interconnectedness, when we remember our bodies, our nature, I am nature. And when I am in a deep, receptive place of my true creative listening and exploration, then I remember my interconnection. I remember and I steward and love and care for this being with radical compassion. And therefore, the planet and everyone else, as we're all interconnected. And that leads into this remembering, leads into the healing. And the healing is going into the shadow work. And the healing is showing up for the discomfort, showing up for the unknown. And to me, the journey of creative discovery, creative self-discovery is the journey of showing up for the unknown. Whether it's a blank canvas, a blank page, a song that wants to come through. There's this precipice of like anticipation. I don't know. What if I don't know? Well, what if we don't need to know? What if we get out of our own way and open to receive? And that's the healing. And it doesn't mean that it's not, challenging. It's super challenging and really uncomfortable. And the parts of ourselves that are ready to be seen, heard, known, witnessed, and loved come in, and we have an opportunity to care for and tend. So this process of visionary art is medicine. It's ceremony. It's honoring and marking the transitions we go through in our lives, which are many. And that's part of what I steward, is the remembrance and the healing. And then there's the transformation that happens organically when we go through an initiation. We cross a threshold. We courageously, or just totally crazily, go through a portal and surrender. And it may be pure chaos. That's part of it. It may be total breakdown for breakthrough. But this whole entire process of unfolding is what I experience as the creative cycle. And it's a ceremony, and it's a precious, precious opportunity for self-awareness and consciousness, and raising the vibration and frequency and opening our channels so that we can live in harmony and as courageous and compassionate and embodied beings to create really the most beautiful world our hearts know is possible, the visionary sense. And so I offer this way of being, this beauty way, this journey way, the circle way, the council way, in circles of art medicine practice. I love painting, singing, dancing, all of the expressive arts. And I noticed that where the true transformative experience comes in is when it's in circle, in community. And I've been participating, experimenting, and building intentional community and intentional living for 25 years, been in healing arts and living and studying intentional communities. And it is not easy. It is not easy. And it's something that we are all remembering together, and we get to show up and be in the transformative power of remembering our own internal voice, listening to the higher self, opening this channel and this channel, being the sacred cross, way pre-Christian. We're not talking about religion here. We're talking about sacred geometry. We're talking about this, the center, the stillness, the 0 point. And we're not alone. The paradigm of the individual is over. And the new earth is here now. And it's about what we're doing here today. And it's awesome. And I'll leave with one quote from Deepak Chopra, which is, the best use of your imagination is creativity. The worst use of your imagination is anxiety. So use your imagination consciously and understand the power of, if you can't imagine it, you won't be able to see it. You won't be able to create it. So practice together in circle, the medicine of creativity and how it is awakening and enlivening us all. Thank you so much.
Yay, sister. Oh, what a beautiful transmission. Everyone give it up for Miss Lisa. Yay, I'm so happy you were able to do this with us. Yes to creativity, where it's at. Such a beautiful channel you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to bring us back all on so we can see each other. So I feel inspired to just take a moment and feel into our bodies together and kind of continuing this. Feel free to drop into your body. If you want to close your eyes, it's just a moment we're going to take to really honor the vessel, these beautiful vessels that we are embodying here and now. If you want, you can extend your arms out, just kind of not quite, like a little bit elevated to the side, and just kind of put your shoulder blades back and down and allow your arms to really create a beautiful tension, a point of kind of friction where your whole upper body is kind of engaged, and just feel the in-streaming light and the crystalline form that you are. And just take a moment to just feel this energy that's created. This is a power pose that you can come into any part of your day. Just feel yourself radiating in that beautiful, magnificent energy, life force that pulsates through the body when you really bring presence in. Just breathing a couple times, allowing yourself to be recharged. And when you're ready, you can bring yourself back into the space and kind of shake it out if you like. Yay, thanks for doing that with me. So right now, I would love to open the floor for questions, anything about comments about what you heard today. If you would like to introduce yourself, I like to open the floor up at the end to just everyone have their voice be heard. Even the audience, you're welcome to come off mute. And any questions as well are welcome for the speakers. Anything about the series, to anything at all, free reign. Come on.
Hi.
Hi, Lauren.
I'm Lauren Wittig. I'm an intuitive healer, and I'm founder of the Wise Women Circle here in Williamsburg, Virginia, which went on a hiatus during the pandemic. It didn't translate to Zoom because we didn't know how to use Zoom yet. But I am so grateful for this circle, which Tessa told me about. Tessa and I are going to be collaborating. We're going to get together and figure out what we're going to do before too long. So I love that you talked about collaboration, because it's something that's near and dear to my heart. And I think it is such a female way of working, We evolved to collaborate. We evolved if we were, you know, I have Scottish background. If you're walking the wool, which is what they had to do with the wool to make the kilts and that sort of thing, that was a community act. And you got to share your wisdom and your stories and catch up on the family and all those things that I miss so much for not having an active circle of women. So thank you for this. I will be here. Thank you, Tessa, for telling me about it. And I picked up nuggets from everybody. So this was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. And I'm so glad you were able to be here today. I'm really looking forward to whatever comes from our collaboration and our circle of two.
Yay, Lauren, so nice to meet you. Anyone else feel inspired? Elvira, were you coming?
I was, but I saw Deborah with her hand up, so I'd like her to go first. I'll go next.
Popcorn style. Go for it, Deborah. Come
Yeah.
off mute.
Thank you. Thank you, Elvira, and thank you so much for your share. I just wanted to thank everyone. I actually have to go in about 60 seconds, and I wanted to make sure that I just said that felt so enlightening to me. I love working in community and collaboration with women. And just to keep it really brief, everyone's share was inspiring and enlightening, and I'll be bringing little tidbits of what I took notes, and I'm grateful that I was here today. So Dewi, thank you so much for the invitation to receive so much beautiful story, wisdom, and positivity. And I just really loved every word out of all of your mouths, and I'm super grateful. And I'll be here as often as I can be. So thank you so much. I feel quite grateful.
Yay.
Thank you.
Oh, so
Happy you're
beautiful.
here. Yay. So good to reconnect. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Go
Oh.
for it, Elvira.
Yeah. Oh, that was such a beautiful share, Deborah. And it just gave me chills because I just know we're all in the right place. And I'm so grateful to Dewi. We met when I was at the very beginning of my journey, and she was at the beginning of hers. And we were kind of wet behind the ears, still in our diapers, as far as well, at least I was. I can't speak for her, but we got coached, we got mentored by Kendra Thornbury, an amazing woman, and we were brought together at the Wealthy Goddess Mastermind Retreat. I hope I'm not giving away your secrets here, Dewi, but in Sedona, when I was like right from corporate and I had to learn some of this more spiritual way of being, I was the wettest behind the ears, and Dewi was one of the most beautiful, inspiring women to me, and she just had this beautiful aloha energy around her, and she was just so lovely. And watching her growth, who she is today, just makes me really, really inspired and humbled that she and I have connected so deeply, because our purposes are really big, as is everyone here. If you're here in her midst, your purpose is big too. And I just want to acknowledge everyone, all the Tessa and Lisa, my God, you guys are amazing. To be in your company, I feel humbled and grateful. And I just want to acknowledge you all, and especially Dewi, for bringing us together in this beautiful, beautiful, divine feminine way. So thank you. Thank you. Oh, you guys make me cry.
Oh yes, thank you. I receive all the juicy vibes. Yeah, Karen Lee said that she worked with Kendra too. I'm gonna let Kendra know that we mentioned her name today. Her and I kind of rekindled a conversation recently. Yay! Anyone else feel inspired? Welcome to come.
I would just love to share the appreciation for you, Dewi, as always, my sister. But I am just, this idea of community and co-creation and collaboration, as women, we are going to create that in this world because we have to. And so it just inspires me so much to be in a circle of women who know that, understand that, feel that, and choose to be that. So just thank you for your transmissions today. And thank you, Dewi, for just creating this space and following your inspiration. I think that is what we're all meant to do. Lisa, you talked about that, like my journey is to help women stay connected to that inner wisdom and I do it through astrology and intuitive business guidance, but it is about trusting our own inner wisdom and being willing to co-create, collaborate, and be in community and not feel we need to be hidden or separate. And so this is just such a gorgeous reflection of that. And I'm just grateful to you, Dewi, for following your vision and bringing us all together.
Yay, Sherry. Sherry's one of my business besties. So happy you're here today. Yay, sisters. Well, I will, if anyone feels like, oh, Karen, did you want to say something? Karen was our speaker last week.
Yeah, I'm going to come back and listen to the recording because a sister of mine had something medical come up and I just said, I know this is being recorded, so I'm going to talk to her and come back to the recording because everything I heard Tessa's entire presentation, and I'm so grateful to be among you doing this at this time. So look forward to hearing Lisa and the rest of Elvira's. Yeah.
Well, there's no mistake that you're here today, and all of you other ladies. You know, there's something happening, right? And I can feel that this collective here today, even if it's just for today, that there's something that's activating, that there's an understanding of what we're actually bringing here today, which is really encouraging. And I just love what Lisa and Elvira brought, like just these different aspects of what it is to be a feminine leader in the world, and how we hold that, how we witness the shifts happening, and how we hold that space and create that container for the allowance of everything to be present as we align heaven and earth and across as well, activating our embodiment, our physical beings, along with that deeper soul piece, the high self, all the elements, you know, that we could do probably a masterclass for 80 weeks on. So I'm just grateful, and thank you for your heart energy and for your participation today, whether that was silent or not silent.
Agreed. Thank you all, sisters. So I am so grateful and honored that you all said yes. I know there's a lot of things going on that we could invest our time and energy and life force into. I feel personally this is a worthwhile one to keep returning to every week, different women's voices. We're growing this organically. Please spread the word. If you're interested in becoming a speaker and you haven't yet reached out to me, let me know, and I can put you, if not for this season, next season, because this will continue on. I already know it. And for now, just accept my heartfelt gratitude for being here. Happy International Women's Day. Women's Day is every day. Please connect with all of the speakers. I will send a follow-up email. You're all here, so you'll receive it because you're all registered, with everyone's links again, in case you weren't able to grab them. And let's continue to just be the brilliant beings we are. And that can be authentically in any given moment, just exactly where you are, you know, and we are remembering this presence process of just simply the being state of who we are is more than enough, beyond the idea of enough. And it's our birthright to reclaim our place on the stage, on this stage, on the world stage, to collaborate and connect, to dissolve these illusory viral programming paradigms of scarcity, of competition, of me, and really come into the trust point of that we are supplied and we are divine, and that we get to shine. You know, this is the time, and there's others who are ready and waiting for our medicine. So I love you all. Have a beautiful day. See you next time. Thank you for sharing your voices. Love, love, love. Thank you, speakers. Thank you, Elvira. Thank you, Tessa. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Dewi. Thank you, everyone.
And
Have a
Karen,
beautiful
everyone who shared. Aloha.
Thank you.
Thank you
Aloha.
so much for showing up.
Mahalo.
My sister.